Morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I wanted to do a live on a topic that's been coming up and up loads, cover letters. So many people ask, do we need them? Are people looking at them? Are they even reading them? All of those things. So I wanted to explore, are they a waste of time, right? We've heard countless stories, people writing them, sending them out, not hearing anything back. So, you could get auto rejected by the robot, ghosted by people. So I want to just explore, are they relics from a bygone era, or are they powerful, underutilized tools that are used by the real proactive job seeker? So I think it's super interesting. I did a poll on it a few weeks ago. So if you hop on my LinkedIn, look through my content, you can have a look. And I'm going to read you the results, which is really interesting. And I asked a simple question: cover letters, do we still need them? And so we had a lot of respondents, actually. It was really good. Thank you for voting. There were three options. So it was absolutely, times have changed, and it depends. So 64% of people thought that times had changed and cover letters were done, forget about it. And loads of interesting comments and stuff, which I've distilled down, and I'm going to go through a few of the key ones now. 23% of people said, absolutely write a cover letter. And then 13% of people weren't sure. So it was really interesting. I think some of the key points for me is, are people actually reading them? Because it takes hours to write a great cover letter, right? If you're going to do it, you've got to do it properly, right? Because the other thing is, a lot of the hiring managers are saying, well, I get the cover letters, but it's copy and paste. The company name's not mine, it's someone else's. So if you're going to do it, make it bespoke. Everything's better bespoke, so make sure you do it bespoke. But if you're hiring, you've got to appreciate that candidates take so long to write a nice cover letter. So you've got to think, are people actually reading them? And so, if you're hiring and you're going to ask people to do a cover letter, the overriding consensus was, only ask people to write a cover letter if you're actually going to read it. And there was also some thought around, it does add value. If you're hiring for a certain position and you think there's value in seeing how someone writes, constructs their sentences, the types of language they use, those kinds of things, then absolutely. If you're not, don't bother. The other thing is also, there's so many other tools right now. It could be video, you could be using other things. I think video is probably the interesting one. Or do you just hop on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and check out their content? I was speaking to a friend of mine, actually. She Instagrammed me today. She's a really big chef, and she was hiring, and she got the cover letter, she got the CV, but she jumped on Instagram and checked out their food photos, which is much more powerful, and I think ended up getting that person the job. So you've got to really think about, if you're hiring, are you going to read them? If you're not, respect people's time, don't ask for them. And also, everyone's busy. How long does it take? How long do you read through a CV for? If you're looking at a CV for about 10 seconds, are you going to really read a cover letter? So that's the other thing. If you are doing it, as I mentioned, be bespoke. If you're going to take the time, and it could well be, because this is the other argument, right? There's so many people around, there's so much noise around. Maybe you're applying for a job where there's thousands and thousands of applicants, and maybe the CV could be the difference between getting an interview or not. And a bunch of people commented on the poll I did that someone wrote a great cover letter, it made them really stand out, and that was the reason they got an interview and ultimately got the job. So, if it's used well, like anything, it could work. So if you're going to do it bespoke, make sure that the language is great and all of those things. And if you're going to do it, pour your heart and soul into it, give it everything. Everything that comes out, everything you send out for a job application should be top notch. Get people to look through it. Make sure the grammar's good, spell check, all of those things. Because if it's not written well, then they could have the opposite effect. So make sure it's really, really good. The other thing, I think, in summary, hiring managers, if you are asking for them, make sure you're actually going to read them. And if you've decided to write a cover letter, if you think that's going to be the difference, and it could well be the difference between you landing an interview or not, make sure it's bespoke, take the time to do it, make sure it's perfect, amazing, all of those things, and good luck. Thank you.